All right. Hello again. This is Chad Everett Broshears. I'm the host of Growing Up in the Wilds of Suburbia. And today's episode is I'm doing a brief introduction to the mastering the us in relationships. As most people seem to keep going around and spreading out all kinds of craziness about relationships and their advice on relationships based off of some sort of jaded past or some sort of, you know, luggage or baggage that they're carrying. They didn't understand their relationship, so they're carrying around and giving other people advice on how not to understand a relationship as well. So a lot of these people, by the way, are extremely enrolling because we happen to know them fairly well. All right, so as always, I am going to pull up our wonderful disclaimer about how I am not replacing any medical advice whatsoever or any professional of any nature that you could gain counsel from, but I'm merely giving my viewpoints and my educational philosophy to help you better understand something from my perspective. All right. Up it up. Okay. So here it goes. And here it is. Pause the screen, take a quick read. You can blow this up if you wish, download it. I don't care. All right, so you understand where I stand legally with this page. All right, now moving on. And popping back up my big boy screen. Okay. So there's a couple quick premises to understand whenever it comes to creating a better understanding on relationships. First and foremost is everyone wants to take it personally. Everybody. There's nothing wrong with taking a relationship personally. It's why we're involved in one, right? Except people play different roles in relationships and they play different roles in life. If you have somebody who plays a victim, it's almost certain that in the relationship, even if they love the person greatly, there's a really high chance they're going to turn that person into a villain because a victim can't live without a villain. The same as, conquerors can't live without the conquered. Something to conquer, which is usually oppression over or challenge over the conqueror, or a champion or whatever. They create conflict in their life in order to facilitate their persona. Now, this doesn't mean there's anything wrong necessarily, because wrong's based off of a large overview consensus if you're looking at a larger perspective. But if it's yours or your viewpoint on what's right and wrong, which we all have viewpoints that make our position of right and wrong valid. My puppies are playing this morning, and those are puppies is being kind of loose with the term. They're almost all of them are adults, but you might hear them in the background, so bear with it. All right, so relationships, the I values in relationships, or the you value, shall I say. Now, this is the value of your core being, what time you need to go to bed, the kind of things you need to do for yourself that you can't blame on other people if you don't do it. No matter how bad you want to, you can't blame these things on other people. That's part of the Mastering the You of Relationships that I have. It's a course that's available November 1st, 2015. Now, the us, Mastering the Us in Relationships is also going to be available November 1st, 2015. And that is a build on from the you, Mastering the You. The Mastering the Us is where you take the two yous, or however many yous are in your relationship, and you connect all of them in a very respective manner that is to support one another for that relationship's confines. So you have the barriers, borders, and definitions to the relationship. You say my relationship is based off of X, Y, and Z, which can be I express love, which, by the way, I've brought this book up before, and I'll bring it up again. The Five Love Languages is a great book to understand a bit more about how people express love, and also how you yourself like to receive love, which is not always the same way. You just because you express it one way doesn't mean you like to receive it that way. Your parents may have loved you a certain way, and they expected you to behave a specific way that taught you that's how you're supposed to behave to somebody you love, as far as like doing chores or tasks or positive affirmations or something of that nature. Um, you know, there's all kinds of different ways, gift giving, all kinds of stuff that is actually expressions of love. Now, if you don't know yours, you can find yours. Now, like I said, that book, Your Five Love Languages is a great book to start gaining enough information to understand why and how you like love expressed to you and how you prefer to express it. And once you understand the I values or the you value of that, then you'll understand exactly what that means to the how to understand another person's desires and from your same perspective. So you can actually look at it and say, oh, I get it now. I've been taking the trash out and working extra overtime for the last 15 years because I thought that's how I really supported you with love. And you find out that they prefer you give them positive affirmations or something of that nature, which would be like telling them things, wonderful things about them, or just telling them things about them that they wish to hear or that they wish to hear from you. Maybe not necessarily the exact verbiage, but just hearing that you have care in your words for them. So you start expanding on this. This is all part of the us value, or mastering the us in relationships. This is what we have to do in order to master it, is you have to start really giving a crap about your partner, but not stepping over or sacrificing yourself in the meantime. So you do not actually tell people, you don't martyr yourself in relationships. So I do not know any martyrs, love martyrs that are actually very happy. Almost all love martyrs are found by their complaints, the trail of complaints. So when I ask people that are love martyrs, their definition of love, which I ask all of my students this, and I also regularly reassess it for myself, as well as, all people in my life, family members, my lover, all of these people, I reassess this value with that person or those persons, which is, what is your definition of love? Now, your definition of love at first may be very immature, very childish. I don't know. I can't tell you. I know that I've come across some childish definitions. And then I've come across some very sophisticated, articulated definitions. And then I've come across the most, I would say, the most beautiful definitions. So martyrdom is not necessarily a very beautiful definition, where it's usually described by, the kind of love that I have is I would do anything for the other person. And I would ask, following that, is what's your expectation of the other person? Is it to do anything for you? And a lot of people do not line up like that. So if your expression and your understanding of love, or your definition of love, is martyrdom and your partner's is not, it'll seem one-sided because your partner doesn't express or even define love in the same context. So you go and put yourself or that person first all the time, and the other person doesn't appreciate it. And your common complaint would be, you don't appreciate me. So that doesn't mean, as a proof positive absolute, that you're a martyr of love, just because your partner doesn't appreciate you. It's just giving you an understanding of a lot of the things that I hear whenever my students are challenged by their position with love. My partner doesn't appreciate me. Well, I have to find out their working definition. That person that's telling me my partner doesn't appreciate me, I have to find out their working definition of love, and then give them the homework and the tools necessary for them to bring it to their partner and to expose exactly what the love partnerships are. Now, not anything negative, but to bring it to light, so there's a adult rationalization of understanding of how to be in love with someone else, rather than the idea of love, which is what most partnerships have. There's the idea of love, but the expression of love is not met or kept. So with that, there's the baseline understandings, and those baseline understandings are first and foremost your you values. It's who you are to yourself and what you need for you to feel like you're caring for yourself. Like, the idea that I just let myself go, right? Well, that's a direct indicator on where you're caring for yourself and where you're not. If you let yourself go, you allocated attention to something else that took precedence at the time. So it's a matter of finding out what the thing is that took precedence at the time and ensuring that that thing is a complete thing so that it doesn't come back around and be regurgitated into your future from your past. So we have to discover these things in order to overcome these challenges. Myself and very wise other philosophers and educators, in my opinion, very wise individuals, most people would agree that your past has great value, and desire to predict the future also contains great value, and to measure it all by being in the present. Now, there's plenty of people that are the present junkies. You got to be in the present. You got to be in the present. You'll appreciate your leverage here in the present. These are the people that usually are the more challenging for me to consult with, because they find it challenging to give up the idea of the presence being the supreme ruler of their existence. They behave as if they are almost deifying the concept of being present. It's the superior place to be, blah, blah, blah. There's a great value in understanding your past, not necessarily reliving your past, but understanding your past. And the more you complete the moments that you live in, the more you complete conflicts from your past, the more present you can be and the better judge you can be for your future, because you're not trying to simple challenges that you have made complex by not addressing. So there's a quick little formula that I wrote up that is your baseline: understanding your definition of love, understanding your partner's definition of love, understanding your position of the you in relationships, understanding your partner's, or having your partner understand, not you understanding it yet, but having your partner understand the you of their relationship with themselves. Then that creates the ground level workability for mastering the us in relationships. So this is the understanding and rationalized understanding of a relationship, rather than just being fueled by emotion. Because fueled by emotion looks very turbulent and very challenging for most people. I would say I haven't found a relationship that doesn't have this kind of clarity. I have not found that relationship to not be challenging for the partners or the people participating. Now, they may understand it through different verbiage, but they still understand it through these principles. All right. Well, this has to be a short video. I'm on my way to another appointment. So with that, this is Chad Everett Broshears, the host of Growing Up in the Wilds of Suburbia. And as always, leave comments, any suggestions, feedback in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, by all means, please share it on social media, share it through email, when somebody's over, if you feel like this video or any of my videos can help them, by all means, show them the video. All right. Again, this is Chad Everett Broshears, and I am very grateful for your time and your attention. So have a great day. Or not. Your call.